Hello, I'm Kaitlynn from 11 Mandel, and this is my art exhibition. My artist statement is true art as a representation of a society. We can learn about personal cultural identities, which opens up various perspectives. As we know, societies are varied. We all come from all around the world. This variation creates differences in perspective between different groups that have different cultural identities, tradition, race, and traits. Most of the time, as we all have different perspectives, we also have different ways of perceiving others' culture and tradition, whether we can be accepting or not. Around Us talks about what is happening in the society around us from my perspective and experience as I am a part of the community. It shows two sides of the society, one being accepting and embeds unity, and the other one being unaccepting and showing racist or degrading remarks. Because of this, I want people to kind of reflect on themselves, which is better, having a united or a distorted view of certain groups in society, or how can we improve our way of thinking and create an equal and united society. The first piece of work, The Unspoken, produced on Wonderland, is an acrylic on canvas. Inspired by the 1998 incident, this work represents racism towards the Chinese ethnic in Indonesia. The female figure is used as a representation of the great suffering that females have gone through in the 1998 situation. The female figure looks up as a symbol of looking for hope and feeling a deep sadness in this situation. The color red is used as the figure's skin tone, as red is a part of the Chinese culture. As threads form racial slurs in Bahasa, it creates a sense as if those words are embroidered and normalized. The black and white background creates a sense of spotlight, centering the issue as important. In this work, it reflects back onto the perspective that was created by the society where the Chinese ethnic group in Indonesia was not worthy to be treated as an Indonesian. Woman Ipan or We Are One is a mixed media collage that revolves around the phrase Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, where we all are one, though different in race or cultural background. The Chinese ethnic community is reinforced by the figure, which is a representation of the Chinese ethnic by a model on the fashion magazine, red paint, and also Chinese characters that are translated to We Are One. The Chinese characters are lino printed, just like how in the past Chinese people would use this method to print media or characters onto paper. Indonesian features are reinforced by the use of batik and also the Garuda bird that is stitched with red thread to the model. In here, I try to make a different perspective from the previous work, where the mindset of the work is more on how at the end of the day Chinese Indonesians are still Indonesians. The third work is called I'm Not a Virus, a printed digital art. Thousands of news as seen in the background has been published about xenophobia due to COVID. This work targets Chinese citizens who had faced racism and had been labeled as the virus, as the coronavirus is somewhat surrounding the figure. The stars on the face are from China's flag in order to identify the figure's origin and represent Chinese society. However, most of the citizens cannot raise their voices in order to stop this racy fight, hence the cross on her mouth. This racism is more viewed on a larger scale, different from my previous works that are more focused around Indonesia. The unacceptable perspective of the Chinese is constructed because of the assumption that COVID originated from China, which people labeled COVID as an identity in the Chinese society. This work brings people to reflect once again on what is happening around us. Beauty of Unity is the last printed digital work for this exhibition. As Chinese and Indonesian ethnic has racial tensions in the past until now, unity is needed in order to solve it. The embodiment of the Chinese porcelain pattern Indonesian map on the Chinese ethnic figure represents both sides. The beauty is supported by the national flowers of Indonesia, which are Rafflesia, moon orchids, and melati. This artwork shows how when there are no boundaries between the Chinese ethnic and Indonesia, it would be a beautiful sight. This work goes back to my artist statement on how we as a society should have a more positive perspective on the Chinese ethnic. We should accept them, their culture identity, and their tradition. That is the end of Around Us. I hope you enjoyed it and thank you.